And
Sorry.
his bottom
Yep.
line, I'm going to go ahead, hit OK, and I'm going to stop share. His bottom line was, if you just concentrate on one thing. I just got a phone call right before you got on, and it was a gentleman, an agent out of California, wants me to be interviewed by his client, which is fine. Yet if I just solely concentrate, and I've made all these wonderful relationships, and I'll continue to create, work my relationships of my agents out there for referrals. But if I just concentrate on my database, period, end of. Here in Vegas, not out of state, I have roughly, because I had a lot of people who moved and cleaned up, etc. So let's just say my database is 1,000. Okay. 1,000 people. And the rule is that you can, if working your database, you can get 10%.
Yep.
I have 100 sales. So in answer to your question, do I have enough ability to get just off of one source?
Yep.
Yes, I do.
Yep. And that's not including the referrals that come in. Those are gravy, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Those are gravy. I was stunned that when I asked Philip, I said, how many people have signed up for my class that I'm teaching on the 29th? And I thought he was going to say, oh, we haven't gotten anybody, because it's out there with my database, yet it's also out there because of all the videos I do. And he says, you have 6.
Okay.
I went, oh, okay, I guess we have a class.
Okay. So now I get, okay, this is good because, okay, I'm glad that you brought this up and that you want to focus on this. If your only focus every single day for a minimum of 1 to 2 hours is to who can I call to schedule an appointment? If you could be that uber focused and dialed in for that time block and get yourself appointments. So what I used to do so when I ran a sales team for Belfort, we would sit down and I would say to them, okay, we've got 4 hours. Your job is to get as many appointments as possible in 4 hours. Go. And they just called and they scheduled appointments, and they would schedule appointments for not just the next week or the week after, but they would go sometimes 4 weeks out. And so it would help them to make sure that they met their minimum number of appointments that they needed every week. So I would say to you and highly suggest that you do something similar in a way that works for you. Right? This was a sales team.
What I'm not, see, when I hear that, and I liked him because it wasn't about setting appointments. You're contacting your past clients to say hello, tell them that they came to your mind, right? And to do a ask, like, I loved what one of the people said on the panel. And she said, you know what? And she does 110 transactions a year off of this. Been in the business for 23 years. Her database pretty much mirrors mine, because if you take my 37 minus 13 years in new homes, her and I are the same. So she said she just texts people and say, hey, I'm going to be in your neighborhood.
Okay.
I'm going to be in your neighborhood and I'm taking a client. Tell me, do you have is there a favorite? I'm going to meet a client. Is there a favorite restaurant that you would tell me to go to? And it's like one of those, oh my goodness, Robin reached out to me first off. Secondly, I do have a favorite restaurant and I'd love her to, she never asked me for things, right? And then what you do is you do a follow-up with that and you may not have a client that's going to that restaurant, by the way, right?
Yeah.
And you go to the restaurant and you get a little gift card, whatever. And you just do it. do a drop off, drop by with a little thank you note, just say, thank you so much. I had an opportunity to go to the restaurant, or had an opportunity, or anything of the above. And it doesn't even have to be a restaurant where it's an expense. It could be, what's your favorite coffee shop in the area?
Yeah. Coffee shop, please.
Yeah, a lot less expensive, right?
Yes,
So
coffee shop.
yeah,
Yeah.
coffee shop. So you say coffee shop, and then you get you buy them a cup of coffee. You buy a $10 gift
Yeah.
certificate, and you drop it off. Um, and I thought, oh my goodness, that is that's an icebreaker, because I have problems picking up the phone to call people that I haven't talked to in forever.
Okay.
Then why am I have a problem because I haven't talked to them forever. And yes, they get invited to our 4 annual events. Yet it was said today, because I'm part of the book club, Extraordinary Experiences means book.
Mhm.
That's our book for the month. And it's hard for me to reach out to somebody that I have not been in touch with. Yet if I have a way, like, that's simple like
You need a
that,
reason. You need a reason to reach
right?
out to them. Yeah.
Right. And she said, people don't want, and this is so well said, that people don't want to hear about your one time a year client appreciation day.
Yeah.
They want to hear from you on out of the blue, because that's more caring. That's more experiential than a customer appreciation event. And all I've been doing, and I shouldn't say all, my touches have been the client appreciation events. My touches have been, thank goodness, they get a handwritten birthday card. Thank goodness on that. But I if I was to score myself, I wouldn't give myself. I'd probably
Well,
score
look,
myself out of 5. I'd score myself a 3.
so there's a little different. Okay. So you're going to hear all the time, all different ideas from all different people, and you have. I mean, you've been in this business, you've been in the rodeo for a while, right? You're not a newbie by any means. Everybody's going to find the thing in the way that works best for them. It- for you, if you feel like you're more comfortable having a sit down face to face with somebody and you get better results like that, then you want to give yourself the opportunity to be in front of more people.
I don't have the time to.
Okay. Okay. So then that's a
I'm being
consideration.
realistic, so that's why I like that touch. I
Okay.
love that little touch.
All
How
right.
creative, you know.
Yeah, I think that's really great. And however, it's going to end up costing you a lot of money, and you have to decide where to, okay, invest, spend, or waste your money. I think we've talked about this before. There's 3 ways to spend your time, energy, and money. You can invest it, you can waste it, you can spend it.
Okay,
Invest.
yeah, and my question to you is, it doesn't have to cost any money. It can cost the thank you and a stamp.
Okay, those are decisions that you want to make, and you want to put a budget around this. My thing to you is your best, whatever your best way of connecting and getting business and converting it with the least amount of effort, energy, and money is probably going to get you six your 6 deals a month. So if you
Okay,
let
say
go of
that again.
everything, forget about the marketing, forget about the promoting, forget about the client events. If
Right.
you were sitting at a desk and all you had was a phone and a computer, and somebody said to you, for you to survive next month, you need six closings.
Right.
What's the fastest path for you? Is it scheduling appointments? Is it getting referrals? Like what's the way, the mechanism that works best for you?
Well, it would be, which I haven't done. It would be spending that 2 hours a day and connecting with past clients.
Hmm.
And I've done really good at connecting with past clients when they've been in the last year. sometimes 2 years, rarely, and not anything further back, with the exceptions of the people that are at the top of my list that come to every one of my events because I love that opportunity to say hi.
Yeah.
So that's why I liked what I heard, and it feels good with me, is those little touches, just saying, hi, I was thinking of you. Oh, well, another way that she said, and it doesn't cost you any money. Hi, I was thinking of you when I drove past the home I sold you. I hope things
That's
are
fine
well.
too.
You know, I'm, I, those kind of connections are
So
easier
let
for
me
me,
ask
and
you
I don't
one.
have excuses. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
so what about just, look, I really, let's say I was your sale, I sold you something a year ago at your home. Let's say it was 5 years, right? You and I haven't spoken in 5 years, okay? And I call you up out of the blue and I say, Robin, I said, this is Deborah Pearlman. I don't know if you even remember me. You know what? It's been a really long time and I have not reached out. And I came across a piece of paper, whatever, with your name on it. And I thought to myself, I really need to pick up the phone and check in and see how you are. How are you doing? How's your family? How's life? I personally,
Yeah, I can do that. I've never done it.
okay, so just you have to think about the way and the words and the approach that works best for you.
Yeah.
For me personally, authenticity and being, just like honest is for me, that works the best. Some people need a little bit of, I don't think you, and please don't take this the wrong way. You don't need a gimmick. You are so good and so sincere and so caring that I don't think you need a gimmick. I think you can be your authentic self and
If it
stay in
fits me.
alignment and be ethical and moral and provide a value to somebody. And even if it's been 5 or 10 years, pick up the phone and say, oh my God, can you believe how much time has gone by? I thought of you and I'm like, you know what? I got to reach out to you. How are you? I care about you and I know you care about others like that. So,
Now, my thing is this
yes.
little history. And that's why I like today and where I'm at today in my business. Actually, the last 2 years, even though it was less than, right? I used to be in the trenches and I knew all my clients, knew them all and it was really great. And then when I came to KW, to start the Builder Trade-In program. And and for the first 2 years that I ran the Builder Trade-In program, before it got obnoxiously busy, I was in front of people. I knew them. I knew their
Mm-hmm.
name. I knew just interesting things about them. Then I got too busy and I was in the cage. I called this my cage.
Yeah.
I was in my cage for 8 years. 8 years of which, during those 8 years, we probably did, no exaggeration, we probably did 500 transactions. No, 8 times 6. Yeah, 500 to 600 transactions. Okay. Those people would see me at closing when I'd show up because I thought it was important to show up and to thank them in person. But they didn't remember me.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'd be on the phone when I'm talking to them, I'd be the one that would fight like a mama bear on their behalf to make sure that things got done. They had no relationship with me. So a lot of those people I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. So when I make those, oh my goodness, that is as ingenuine to me
Okay.
for
So
somebody. that I don't mean no beans over. So do you see my struggle here?
Yeah. So, okay. So change the
Some
wording.
people very well, and some people I don't know.
Okay. So what if you called somebody out of the blue who you didn't know well? What would you, look, I can make all suggestions, but you have to
I
figure
need the
out what,
suggestions because I don't. Nothing
okay.
feels good to me right now.
So the only thing that I would say to you is, again, be authentic and say, you know what? Our team, the team sold you the property. And unfortunately, I was so much in the trenches at that point that I didn't have an opportunity to connect with you. I might have shown up at your closing, and that's one of the reasons why I've shifted and pivoted, and I'm running my business very differently now. I wanted to reach out and let you know that a relationship with you, a connection, it was important, and I wanted to thank you and let you know how much I appreciated the fact that you trusted our team and you gave us business. What if you just said
Okay,
that?
that's authentic. I like that.
That's I don't You don't need gimmick. You just be honest. You just be you. You're such a good, loving, kind, warm person who will fight for somebody on behalf of somebody. You don't need kitschy. You don't need the gimmick. You don't need it. And I think that's beneath you anyway, honestly.
Well, that one. I can deal with. It just was coming up for me to come up with it. I Joe
So
used to call. Joe used to tell me, "How many calls are you making?" And I'd look at him. I say, "I'm not. I'm not," because I was frozen. I've been frozen. I went from a ton of business to here. Yet the people that I have my relationships with today, the last 2 years, if I picked up the phone, at 99% of them, we'd have a phenomenal conversation with the last 2 years.
nice.
It's that group that froze me because I'd sit there and go, I'd look at this group of people and go, what am I going to say to these people? I don't even know. I don't even know if I remember who they are.
Yeah.
I'd have to Google on Facebook to see if I could find their face so I'd remember them.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
doesn't make me feel good.
No, and is it
I
true?
don't feel like I'm transactional.
Okay, well, okay. So is it true that they worked with somebody from your team?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Is it true that the person on your team probably handled things very well?
Always. Well,
Hopefully.
most of the time. Most of the time.
Most of the time. Well, you can say that. You can say hopefully you had a good, you have a good memory of the transaction. It was a good experience for you. Yeah, and just say, you know what, I've decided that, you know what, I really want to reconnect and make the relationship part of my business the forefront and the priority, and that's why I'm reaching out.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I'm very, although I didn't mind the part about mind
No, no,
I didn't mind. I'm
you're in
gonna
a
be
different place. Well, you're also in a different place, and the business has changed, and you've shifted, and you don't have this big team anymore. And so now it's like, okay, buckle up and roll up your sleeves, and right, you have to go back to the way it was before you had the team. What did you do to build the team? How were you successful before that? You were making the calls yourself.
yeah, when I had a team, everybody was doing everything for me.
Yeah.
I was orchestrating.
Yeah. Well, you were the CEO. You were running it.
I was the puppeteer.
Yeah. So now you have to step in a little bit more. Yeah.
Well, that was that. Yeah, I'd rather step in because at least while I'm stepping in, I at least feel like I'm me. That's why I
Yeah, and
don't
it's
mind.
your baby, and you get to be in it again, and maybe you missed that. Maybe that's
Oh,
part.
yeah. As painful as this is, it's growing, and
Do you have to
sorry.
grab that?
Nope.
Okay.
Love when it says possible
Oh,
spam.
possible spam, potential spam.
Okay.
All right. So how does all of that feel to you?
No, that feels great. I'm gonna,
Good.
because that's where I'm just gonna minimize. I know I was supposed to go to Phoenix Monday and Tuesday for an award banquet. I canceled it.
Good.
I didn't want
Good.
to be. Is it important to me? No. Is it more important to be working on what I'm working on? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
So,
want
and
to read, I'm sorry.
no, I was also going to tell you that mm, I who was I speaking to? It was a group, and I said, "Oh, I know what I was. I was on a podcast. I was being interviewed." And I said, I said, just based on what happened during a certain time period and how it revolved and what it revolved into and blah, blah, blah. And I said, remember, the most important thing is that we're not in control. We're not in control. Somebody else is actually driving.
Yep.
So I said, when recognized, that's very important. So last night, you'll get a kick out of this. And I'm going now. I talked to Amy about the new house, and I said before I even get their hopes up, I need you to look. And she said, "Send me your taxes." I said, "Okay." So I sent her my taxes, and I warned her ahead of time. I said, "I write off a lot." I said, "I write off to the letter of the law, but I write off to the letter of the law, right?" And I said, "So just let me know because I don't want to get their hopes up." Okay. So she tells me Monday that she's going to have the underwriter look at it on Tuesday because Monday, what she was seeing was right on the line and she wanted the underwriter to look at it on Tuesday. Then I talked to her Tuesday. She said everything looked great. That she felt confident about moving forward. And then, so Wednesday, I didn't say anything to my clients because I thought, oh, she'll get hold of me if there's something else. And she said, I'm just going to do this. And I said, okay, great. Yesterday, I didn't hear from her. And it seemed like she'd give me. I did hear from her. She had given me a thumbs up. She was pretty confident. I said,
Good.
great. So I let my clients know yesterday morning that I was going to put together an offer, and I wanted them to review it and see what they thought. And they said great. I said I'm having pictures done tonight. They said great. I said I'm going to have my house on the market on Friday. Wow. I said yeah. So last night the photographer got there at 4 o'clock, 4:30, and we were going to go into dusk shots because that's when you
Nice.
could see the view.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just something was in my craw while the photographer was running around, and I'd already, the house looked pristine, and I was already doing a little extra here, a little extra there. So I text Amy. I said, "Hey, Amy, I didn't hear the final thumbs up. I just want to let you know the photographer's here and moving full steam ahead." And she said, "Don't."
Oh.
She said, "You write off too much."
What?
I went, "Okay." So this is dry January, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Of which I had on a whatever evening, I had a glass of wine the last night. Philip knew something was up. I walked over, I got 2 wine glasses, put them on the kitchen counter, took a bottle of wine that we'd opened in December, took it, uncorked it, poured it into 2 glasses, and I walked out to the deck where he was. He's watching every bit of this. He's like looking at me. And I said, here, we can toast. And he said, "What are we toasting?" I said, "We're gonna be here for a while." And he looked at me and said, "What happened?" I said, "I write off too much." And he said, "Well, what about he said, "That's not a bad thing." And I said, "Well, it's not me getting rid of the debt the way I wanted to as quickly as I wanted to, but that's okay." I'll roll up my sleeves. I've got a lot of tools in my belt, and I'll just continue to do what I do, and I'll put the fire up under my ass a little bit more. It's okay.
Okay.
As then I went inside, and Lauren sends me a text from her lawyer that she sends me a text from her lawyer and says the lawyer says that I've run out of the last 10,000 that you gave me, and that she doesn't have any more money to go to court.
Hmm.
And oh well, you know what? Figure things out. And then I thought to myself, you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm just not going to go further in debt. Just can't. I just can't. So, and by the way, you're the only one I am saying this to. And I'm not even going to tell my daughter where it came from.
Yeah. Whatever we talk about is always between us.
Okay. So I got hold of my favorite jeweler this morning. And I said, hey, you know what? I've got a bunch of jewelry that just sits around, and I'm not a big flasher, as you can see. I haven't even been wearing my wedding ring. I said I'm not a big flasher, and I see, when I get together for an evening out, I might throw a piece here or throw a piece here, but I'm not a big one. I said, who would you trust to look at some things and give me value?
Yeah, a good appraisal. Yeah.
Yeah, I said,
Yeah.
who would buy it? And he goes, Robin, you just bring it into me. I'll take care of you.
Nice.
I said, okay. So there's always a rainbow. Right?
Is there anything that your daughter can do to help herself?
Um, grow up.
What would happen if you couldn't give her money anymore? What would she do?
She'd have to go in and represent herself in court, and she's lousy about doing shit like that because she thinks everybody wants to listen to a sob story instead of being creative and getting things done. And the judge doesn't have time for sob stories. The judge doesn't have time for beans.
No.
Like, you go in there, so and she's got stuff in her garage that was part of the business that she let go, that she sold out. Still owing me 28,000 on the business, and I have to make those payments.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you sold out the freaking business, and you got all these supplies in the garage. And she says, hold on a sec. And she says to me, oh, I guess I'll have to try. I hate that word, try. I guess I'll have to try to sell the stuff. And I went, I guess you'll have to try. Anyway, so the neat thing about it is um, whatever I do with it, I'm not telling her I did anything.
It's none of her
I
business,
will,
and it's
I'll send it to the lawyer and tell her to get a job done, and that this is it.
Yeah. I think telling her to get a job is probably the greatest gift you can give her, because if you keep enabling her, Robin, it's going to happen when you're not around anymore.
Well, I like I told. Oh, by the way, she did get a job. It's a $14 an hour job. I don't know how she's gonna keep a roof over her head over $14. If she had any idea how I busted my ass when she was a baby, and her entire childhood, she has no clue about what rolling sleeves is up. Just has no clue. So and I would think that after she saw me my entire life busting my ass and creating and recreating and recreating and recreating, no matter what obstacle was given, you'd think that in itself would give her some kind of insight. But hell no. But I was going to say, she's going to be in a, pardon my expression, she's going to be in a shitload of trouble when it comes to, because Philip and I were talking last night, and I said, when it gets to the point, because I am not going to continue like this, I will not.
Good.
In 2 to 3 years, 2 years minimum, 3 years max, because of what's happening in Vegas and the values, my home will have enough equity in it that I can do a reverse mortgage. And I have no, I don't have to
Oh,
shit
she's gonna
for
be
my
so
money.
mad. Oh my God, that's gonna piss her off. Okay, this is good.
I don't have to leave squat.
No, you don't.
Although when I do go, I have you know,
No, it's okay. You know
she
what?
she will she has other stuff that comes to her, but I don't have to leave a squat, and
No,
she's not gonna get that house.
no. I think as parents, it's normal. You want to take care of your kid, but I think at some point the hard line is, you know what? We're done. I'm done enabling you. Go take care of yourself. Go live your life, you know. And look, I know this is different because you got your grandchildren involved with it, but there's also a point when you have to say to yourself, just or ask yourself, if this situation keeps recurring over and over and over again, and the same pattern shows up over and over and over again, and I keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, what part of this am I playing? And what is not, what am I getting in the way of actually happening? Maybe things are supposed to fall apart. Maybe she needs to hit rock bottom. Some people
Yeah,
will
well,
have to
she
learn
needs
the
to.
hard way.
Yeah, she needs to, because she relies on,
Yeah,
now she's got a new boyfriend who's paying for stuff, and every time I turn around, it's somebody bailing her out. I'm like, no.
yeah. She's
Although
not thinking.
the lawyer, I will pay the lawyer based on what I get. Um, I will pay the lawyer, um, and not let her know where it came from, and it'll basically, I'll just say, tell the lawyer, just tell her, you know what, accounting was incorrect. You're fine through court.
Well, you might also want to tell the lawyer, this is it. I can't pay you anymore. You're gonna have to get it from her.
Well, she still owes the other lawyer. Get this, who and the other and her lawyer now, and I'm going to tell the lawyer, you know what, I'm not part of the party, although my purse seems to be. So if there's any truth to this, what I'd like you to do is is file suit against her old lawyer, because
Mhm.
she said her old lawyer didn't do squat, and that's why it's causing her to do everything. It's costing more for preparation, and Lauren still owes her old lawyer $24,000. She's going to have to do, when all this is said and done, she's going to have to do a personal bankruptcy.
Yeah, she probably should do
And
it
she didn't
now.
get it from me, huh?
She should probably do it soon.
Yeah. Well, the only thing is the one thing is attached to me, but the other stuff is on hers.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 1:45. I got to call that guy back in Los Angeles, because I'm hoping that that's a. And oh, by the way, too, 4:45 today. See that number? I think in your case, 7:75 p.m. 7:45 p.m. $3.2 million listing appointment.
Great. Okay. I'll be sending all kinds of good positive energy your way. Okay. Just be your
I
authentic
kept that.
self.
Yeah. That's what got me back through the door.
Yeah.
It was wonderful, because I gave him I met with him
Yep.
months ago. Was real genuine with him, real up, and then I would stay in touch. Say, you know what, I'd really like to take a look at your pool. How's it coming? And
Good.
he got hold of me. He says, I need you to go over to the house and take a look at a light fixture. I don't know what, I don't know if I want to keep it up there, because it's a brand new home. And he had this interior decorator who actually didn't do bad up until. And I said to him, I sent him a text. I said, that's a stop. That's a nightmare, basically. I said, that's one of the ugliest light fixtures I've ever seen, and please don't keep it
Yeah. I'm sure
up.
he appreciated that.
And
That's good.
he said, even if I move it away from the fireplace, I said, you can burn it in the fireplace, and it would make And he sent back a little smiley face, and he said, thank you. He says, I hated it, and I appreciate, and he says, it's just a shame that I'm going to lose that kind of money.
Yeah.
And I said, well, the decorator made a lot of money off you, so why don't you get a hold of the decorator and say, buy it back at half price? So you can sell it to somebody else. And so he says, okay, I'll see you at the house on Friday. We'll talk about the price.
Okay, well, that's good.
So anyway.
All right. I'm going to show you something really quickly, okay? I know you have to make a call. Do you have one more minute?
Yeah.
All right. I just want to show you this one thing, and then you tell me if it's something that you would use or it's too much, okay? I just want to go back to this, all right? This is a different client. I took the client's name on it. So disregard the names here. But basically what happens is
Client pipeline, lead
and the
source.
pipeline side is a drop down. The lead
Yep.
source is a drop down. The
Oh, I like
stage
that.
is a drop down from everything. And we can customize it. In here, I have it where you double click and the calendar pops up so you know the date that you want to do the next step, the last
Oh,
step,
I like that because it's
the
one sheet.
status, expected close month because we're tracking how many deals every month.
Oh, I love the probability percentage. How come that isn't up there?
Um, well, yeah, so this client's not using it, but you can, it's in here.
Yeah,
And
because
he even,
you could make a percentage. It's easy. You have
yeah,
anywhere from 10% to 100%.
and I customize this for her so that depending on what she wants to do here, a buyer consult listing, she knows if it's colored, it's something she has to do, like it's a priority to
Yeah.
follow up on. Okay. And then expected GCI calculates automatically once you put your commission, expected sales price and commission. And if there's an agent split, it does the calculation and it tells you what your net is on each deal. It's all
Love
in
it.
one place.
I love that.
So this is in your file right now. I just put it in your folder, but I didn't share it with you because I wanted you to see it and I want to clean it up because I got to take their stuff out. But before I do that, I want to make sure that
Yeah,
your
if you could put it just when you say my file, you could put it on the front sheet because
your
I
stuff
don't
in.
usually dig for anything.
Well, just so you know, so the dashboard, I put your name in here.
Yep.
This is everything that goes in that sheet. You don't put anything on this. This is the CEO dashboard. Everything shows up. How many in your pipeline? How many are pending? What's closed, if anything? What your expected G, like all of this information gets auto-populated. You don't touch this. The only sheet that you have to
Right,
fill
but it
out is
says my
typing.
annual goal is 305.
Well,
I'd be,
this is somebody else's. Yeah, I just put
oh,
your name in
okay.
here because I didn't
Phew.
want the yeah.
Oh, you scared me, kid. I'm like going,
No,
well, that won't
no, no,
work.
no. Your goal will go in your goal sheet and then it'll
Okay,
populate
good.
stuff.
Okay,
But
good.
your
Because I
pipeline
can't,
is
I'm
here.
too old. I'm too old to be to be a Las Vegas showgirl.
Is that how much they make? I had no idea. So,
Oh no, they probably lucky if they don't even make 100 grand.
yeah, I don't think so. All right. All right. So anyway, so that's that. And then yeah, so make your phone call. And how many people on your list that are people that you don't know would you like to reach out to? Just try it. You
Yeah.
think you could do at least one call like that before we meet next Friday?
Oh, I can do that.
Okay. At least one.
I can do that. I can even commit to
Authentically.
at least one day.
Okay, good. That's even better. Okay. I like it better when the clients push themselves and I don't have to be the one that's pushing. It's so much nicer
Yeah.
that way. All right. So you and I are meeting next week.
Yeah,
It's next Friday at the same time. So by then you'll have made a couple of these phone calls and you'll be able to let me know how they went. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got you next Friday.
All right, good. All right. I'll share that document with you once I clean it up and put your stuff in there. Okay.
That works.
All
Oh,
right.
and before you, okay, I'm gonna just make a note here.
Mm-hmm.
Me, redo numbers. I'm just gonna polish my numbers. I'll get that done by
Okay.
the end of the day.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, because I changed my numbers a little bit.
You did.
Yeah, I went up.
All right, you better text it to me because now I got to add that to your goal sheet.
Well, no, that's what I'm gonna go in is my goal sheet.
Okay. All right, good. Oh, so you're gonna go in there and you're gonna change it. Okay, good.
That's what it. Yep, redo
Good.
numbers for Deborah.
Thank you.
I,
All right. So
Okay.
I'm glad that you have to report to me for it. That's nice. I like that. That's really good for my ego, Robin. You don't know. So all right, my dear. Have a beautiful weekend. You're not getting hit with any of the cold snow or ice, so I'm sure you're gonna have a beautiful weekend. So good for
Are
you.
you guys, where are you now?
Well, I'm in South Carolina. I'm in Charleston, so we'll get a little touch of the cold, but not nearly as bad as like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, even like where Phyllis is, DC, Maryland. North Carolina
Yeah,
is supposed to get it, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to get it too bad. So,
I've got two sisters. One's right outside DC.
ah,
And then I've got another sister that's in Ohio.
I don't know what Ohio is happening, but I
Oh,
know in DC
geez.
they're expecting like a foot of snow between tonight and
Yeah.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, in Ohio, it got getting so cold, etc., that her grandson came and picked up the dog so that she wouldn't walk the dog because she walks the dog,
Mm-hmm.
and she's 79. She fell down her stairs last year and broke her femur,
Oh God.
and they're metal stairs.
Ah, nice.
And yeah, so grandson's picking up the dog just so to make sure that yes, that she
Yeah.
that she's not walking the dog. And I asked her if she had enough groceries in the house, etc. And she said she should be able to, make it three,
Yeah,
four days.
it's only a couple days, so they'll be fine after. So,
Yeah,
all right, my dear. All right, listen, have a great weekend. Have fun making those phone calls and reconnecting with people, and I'm looking forward to hearing all about it on Friday.
good deal.
All right, take care.
You
Bye.
got it. Thank you. You too.
You're welcome.